like he's crying to the moon. If only I knew where to find him. If only I could go to his dwelling. Oh God, if you'd got a postcode, or I could ring you up, or you'd be there when I called, you know. If only I knew where to find him. If only I could go to his dwelling. He longs to come into the presence of God. Now, God has never promised us that we would miss the storm, but he has promised that we will make the harbour. Look at chapter 23 and verses 10 to 12. He knows the way that I take. When he has tested me, I shall come forth as gold. Now, Job's life was pleasing to God before he went into the furnace. Look at this next verse. My feet have closely followed his steps. I have kept to his way without turning aside. I have not departed from the commands of his lips. I have treasured the words of his mouth more than my daily bread. So he has lived the life of a believer. His life was pleasing to God before he went into the furnace. It is, however, disturbing to see how Job's friends speak so knowingly about God, when in the end God reveals that they didn't really know what they were talking about. Eliphaz assumes that God is Job's enemy. Now, he fails to represent God accurately. At times, God permits his children to experience darkness on a dead-end street where they don't know which way to turn. There's someone here, and that's what you're facing at the moment. And God has permitted it. He does at times permit his children to experience darkness on a dead-end street, and all the lights go out in your world, and you don't know which way to turn. Just hang in there. Lean on God. Job's friends crushed him with their words. Look at chapter 19 and verse 2. 19 verse 2. Job replied, "How long will you torment me and crush me with words?" Sometimes people, they would rather be slapped across the face, kicked on the shins, or given a punch in the solar plexus. They would rather be physically assaulted than have someone say to them, "You're a waste of space. I wish I'd never married you. I don't know why you were born. We wanted a boy, not a girl." Words are like poison and like javelins that can be flung into people's lives and torment them month after year after year. And Jesus can bring inner healing when you've been crushed by words, satanic words spoken in rage, spoken in rejection, and they've gone in. Yes. They've gone into your spirit, and you feel I don't belong, and there's no sense of identity, and you feel this world isn't my home. I don't know where I fit in. I'm not meant to be, because some lying words were spoken at you, and they've ruined you. They've cut you up. Now, this man is being crushed and tormented by the words of friends. They make him feel worthless. They make him feel like a trapped animal. He feels humiliated. He looks a sight. He's bereft of honour and authority. And now he begins to think back at all that he's lost and the contrast between where he once was, when God's in his heaven, all's right with the world, and where he is now, which is a living hell. The contrast just torments him even more. Well, picture the scene. Once he was the city's leading citizen, and now he's sat on a dump surrounded by rubbish. He's itching constantly, he's scabby, his breath is bad. Look at chapter 19, verse 17 to 20. My breath is offensive to my wife. I am loathsome to my own brothers. Even the little boys scorn me. When I appear, they ridicule me. Kids are poking fun at him. All my intimate friends detest me. Those I love have turned against me. I am nothing but skin and bones. I have escaped by only the skin of my teeth. Did you know that expression is a biblical one? In the Bible, from the book of Job, you've escaped by the skin of your teeth. My dad used to say that to me when I was up to no good. You've escaped by the skin of your teeth. Well, he suffers from weight loss. He's got diarrhea. His skin is blackened. And his appearance is abhorrent. Look at chapter 30, verse 27. Chapter 30, verse 27. The churning inside me never stops. Days of suffering confront me. And then verse 30, my skin grows black and peels, my body burns with fever. Emotionally, he's distraught. His three friends were like the priest and the Levite passing by on the other side. They failed utterly to identify with his situation, or to feel his agony, or to understand his perplexity. His comforters were not overwhelmed by the heaviness of his suffering. They didn't feel it. They didn't feel the bitterness of it. They were clueless, really. He needed words of encouragement to feed his spirit and to give him strength and hope. He was hungry for love and understanding. Now, this prolonged and intense suffering made him feel powerless to handle life. A hopelessness settled on him. A feeling of uselessness. And when it gets as bad as that, you don't want to wake up in the morning. Chapter 7 and verse 6. My days are swifter than a weaver's shuttle.